Hey, my brothers and sisters, brother Billy. A lot of people are talking about the Renee, I think her last name is Good, the shooting by the ICE officer of Renee Good. And of course, she lost her life, which is a tragedy. And the other sad part is just how whenever a situation goes down without even getting the facts, without getting the you know the what actually happened from both sides, the law officer and Miss Renee, people have already made up their mind that if they are against ICE, then it doesn't matter what the facts show. It doesn't matter what the evidence show. ICE is, in their minds, going to be wrong. If they are somehow against the people, then they're going to give ICE a pass. So when situations like this happens, you kind of in a you're in a no-win situation, but also understand that it's a win-win situation for those who want division. This is a win-win situation for those who want division. Now I know some of y'all, some of y'all just don't. You just believe that, oh, this was just something that was unnecessary, should have never happened, should never. And you're probably right. It probably shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have never happened, but it happened. And there are those who are going to milk this for everything they can. The left and the right, both sides are going to milk it. Now, my perspective. What do you think, brother Billy? You think the ICE officer was wrong? You think the woman was wrong? Who was in the wrong? I mean, it really doesn't matter what I think. Who was in the wrong is not going to bring her back. Renee is not going to bring Renee back. I was talking to my daughter in a sad situation. Honestly, it's a sad situation. But I told her, I said, now if I have to tip the scales one way or another, then I would have to say Renee. Now I know some of y'all going. I already know y'all gonna flip. Some of y'all gonna flip out if you just I support you. You just support Donald Trump. No, no, no. This is not about Donald Trump. This is not about me supporting no Donald Trump. This is about what is actually. What do I think has actually happened from a righteous perspective? This ain't about me siding with no Donald Trump or going against Donald Trump, siding with ICE, going against ICE. Not so. I'm just trying to assess the situation righteously. And most of us don't do that. Most of us assess situations based on how we feel and from our own personal perspective. For many of you, you don't like the police, so it doesn't matter if somebody pulled a gun on the police officer, shot at the police officer, ran the police officer over, and then they got killed. You still gonna blame the police officer. With all I just said, you still will blame the police officer. That was aggressive. I remember that case that happened not too long ago with these black fellas. And they went to this white man's house. I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Some young teens. They broke into a white man's house and 3 something in the morning, and he shot them and killed them. I don't know if all of them got killed or whatever, but I know he shot, and some of them lost their lives. And you had the parents wanting to sue the man because claiming that it was like excessive, he's excessive force or something like that. And that's my point. Excessive force. Mama, daddy, why were your son out 3 o'clock in the morning breaking into other people's home? If you broke into somebody's house 3 o'clock in the morning, what just forget anything, just forget anything else. What do you think gonna happen to that person? What's the probability? What is the high probability if you broke into somebody's house 3 o'clock in the morning? You don't need no degree. What is the high probability is gonna happen to that person? It don't matter whether they white, black, green, gray, purple. It don't matter what color they are. You broke into a stranger's house 3 o'clock in the morning. The probabilities are you're gonna get shot. That ain't got nothing to do with no race. You gonna get shot. I'm not gonna look at the person and say, "Oh, you a black, you a brother like me. You good? What you come in? What you want? What you need? You good, man? You come to get my jewelry? You come to you know sexually assault my wife? What you come to do? You good? You look like me? But no, you're gonna get shot." So this woman, Miss Renee, put herself in a bad situation, and she was told, you know, pretty much by the officer that you kind of need to kind of stand your ground, stay back. You're interfering with, you're impeding and all that stuff. And she put herself in a bad situation. And because of the situation she put herself in, that had nothing to do with her. Y'all know that it didn't have nothing to do with her. Now y'all can claim, oh, well, he ain't had to shoot to kill, and he ain't had to do this, and he had to do that, and he had to do this. Yeah, he may not have to do all of that, but the fact that the lady, Miss Renee, put herself in that situation. You could say that, well, the white man didn't have to kill, they had to shoot them teeth, because, he ain't had to kill him. Why would in his house? Why were they breaking in his, if they weren't breaking in his house, they would have never got shot by him. See, that nips it in the bud. You don't break the law, then 9 out of 10 times you ain't have no problem with the police officer. 9 out of 10 times. Now there may be a few exceptions, but 9 out of 10 times, if you ain't doing something illegal, you ain't got to. The Bible even say that. The Bible talks about the government. God, the one ordained the government, and they are ordained for good. Now, yeah, we got some corrupt. You got corrupt everywhere. So don't get stupid on me. You got people in your own family who are corrupt. You got pastors and bishops. People corrupt. Moms and dads. People are corrupt. Teachers. We got corruption everywhere. So when you put yourself in a bad situation like Miss Renee did, bad things happen. Something that was unavoidable. It was unavoidable. Now y'all want to put it on the ICE officer, and I'm kind of saying, like, I mean, you say, well, he ain't had to shoot to kill. I mean, you can't put yourself in bad. You can't. Why would you put yourself in a bad situation? Why, if I see the police officer got somebody pulled on the side of the road and they dealing with that individual, why would I interfere with that? And if I interfere with that, that has nothing to do with me. If I interfere with that, what can I expect to come out of that? Anything good? Is anything good going to come out of me interfering with officers doing their job? Yes or no? There's nothing good going to come out of that. So why would I put myself in that situation? And then when I do put myself in that situation and something bad happens, that I already know something bad is going to happen if I put myself in a situation with officers that has nothing to do with me. I know bad things going to happen to me. Then everybody going to blame the officer. Ah, and in the grand scheme of things, and I'm closing this, what many of us don't realize is, you got order out of chaos. Many of you're so fleshly, you're so carnal. Many of you don't have a relationship with God, so you don't really see the bigger picture. You're looking at this from a surface level, a surface position. But what they're doing is they are actually introducing, they are actually causing the rise of the Antichrist spirit to be accepted. That's what they're doing. They're chipping away at the moral foundation of men and women to get you to the place where you accept lawlessness. That's what's going on, because the Antichrist is identified as the man of sin. He's identified as the lawless one. And if you pay attention to a lot of the things that's going on, the people that are being protected are the lawless ones. In most all of these situations like this, the people that are being protected are the lawless ones. I'm telling you that you just pay attention. That's who the mainstream media is prone to protect. People who are lawless. Why? Because there's an agenda going on. There's a spiritual satanic agenda going on to dumb us down, to dumb you down, to accept wickedness. Because in order for the Antichrist, and I know I say I'm close, in order for the Antichrist to come on the scene, understand what has to happen. There has to be a level of wickedness that men are willing to tolerate. I mean, there has to be a tremendous amount of wickedness, evil, that men are willing to accept and tolerate. They have to be willing to call good evil and evil good. If you're making righteous judgment, that's bad, that's wrong, that's immoral. That holds back the Antichrist. The society has to get to the place where there's no male and female. No, there's just no male and female. There's like 100 and something different agendas. I mean, genders. Yeah, you, however you feel. If you feel like a man and you're a woman, you're a man. You feel like a woman, you're a man. You confusion. You can just identify with who you want to be, what you want to be. There's no right or wrong answer to that. It's how that that is what's happening. Chipping away at the foundation of God's truth in order to present the man of sin, the lawless one, the Antichrist. And many of you don't see it. I'm never ever going to support lawlessness. I ain't saying every police officer is right in what they're doing. I'm not saying that. There are some bad police officers, like I said earlier. There's some bad officers. They're bad in every area. And when they do something that's unlawful, they should pay for it. In this situation, in my opinion, the lady put herself in a situation where the outcome was going to be bad. That's just the outcome was going to be bad. She was either going to jail or she was going to be shot. And like what happened when she put that car in gear, that was bad. She was told to get out the car. But y'all defending the lawlessness. You don't have to obey authority. You don't have to obey police officers. You don't have to obey those who have authority. But the Bible says, obey those that have the rule over you. That's what the Bible says. Obey those that have the rule over you. Police officers standing in the middle of the road and says, stop. You stop. He said, get out your car. You get out your car. I mean, there's some questions you can ask and all that stuff, but you got to obey a lawful, thing from a police officer. You got to do it. At least you can live to see another day, and to live to have a court case instead of getting lawless. Bad situation. All right, that's my 2 cents on this, and I hate that the lady lost her life. Ah, boy, just a bad situation. Yeah, it's just bad. It's not good. Not good at all. But y'all pay attention to the lawless spirit that they are trying to push on us. You don't want to be on that side of lawlessness. To be on the side of lawlessness is to be against Christ. God's kingdom is not lawless. So for you to support lawlessness, you against Christ. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's a white person, black person, green. I don't care. Lawlessness is lawlessness. I cannot support that. Y'all be blessed. Pray for the family of the people, of the Miss Renee, and the family of the officer. Pray for both of them. Y'all be blessed.